Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you want to hear about Joe Budden and Melissa Ford awkward moment, slightly a beef, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad, Joe Budden and Melissa Ford. Where does this start from? Drake is a master manipulator, divide and conquer. So what he ended up doing was he told Melissa Ford, you a legend from the six. I hate you got to sit next to a D sucker. And obviously he was calling Joe Budden a D sucker. Now, when you look at this situation, when you man, you understand that, yo, this guy's bigging me up, but at the same time he bigging me up, he throwing down or putting down one of my homies. So I can't take the bait and be seen standing next to this guy or support nothing this guy doing, because if I support what he doing, I'm also indirectly supporting the fact that he calling my mans or my homie a D sucker, right? So Melissa Ford ended up this weekend changing her caption on her Instagram to Legend from the Six. Now, Joe Budden, he don't like that, but he's going to be passive aggressive about it. Now, if it was a man, Joe Budden would be able to just say, yo, you foul, you rocking with the ops, but he can't say that to Melissa Ford, because Joe Budden, every time he say something to a woman, it get misconstrued, and then they start bringing back up all his old allegations that he was found not guilty of, but they bring them back up and it puts it in a weird space, and the internet start trying to hop at him, and they start tagging sponsors, and he would prize all these type of stuff, right? We never know what's going on. But the key component to this situation is that Melissa Ford is rocking with the ops. Now, when Joe Budden brought Melissa Ford on here, he did a great job. I think she bring a lot to the podcast. But one thing about Melissa Ford personality is she plays the victim a lot. It was a time where she was on another show. I can't remember the show, but it was a radio show. But when everything actually came out about what was going on, I remember reading the article and hearing like both sides. And I ended up thinking like, yo, Melissa Ford is playing the victim. And also she started some of these things. And one thing Melissa Ford liked to say a lot is, well, if that's what happened, that wasn't my intentions. Or, she'll play the woman card. Well, as a black woman, as a woman, and I'm not saying that these things aren't true, but I'm saying in those moments, Melissa Ford is manipulating the system by using, there's certain words you can use to get a reaction out of people, right? So, if you have a mother who has a child, if she goes online and say, hey, the dad ain't give me money for Pampers and I asked for money for Pampers, all I wanted was Pampers, right? Now, let's just say if the dad already gave the mom $600, they won't care. The internet, most people on the internet won't care. They'll say, well, the mama have the child all the time, and even though he gave her $600, maybe she used it to pay for the rent. Maybe she used it to get something fixed on a car. We don't have all the information. But if it was reversed and the dad was like, yo, the mama didn't pay me, didn't give me, the mama sent the baby over here with me without any clothes. First thing they'll tell the man is, yo, go buy clothes. And then the man can say, yo, but I bought all the clothes I sent over there. Oh, you a man, you should be able to go get more clothes. And it's those type of words and wording that you can't escape if you a man, just like it's certain things you can't escape if you a woman. If a man use those type of words against you, or say, like gold digger is one of those words. If a man calls a woman a gold digger, she can't get out of it. It's hard for anybody to see any other perception, especially if she live a lavish lifestyle, or if she present herself as somebody who like, quote unquote, the finer things in life. So in this situation, man, you just have to let it play out. You can't be upset about it. But I definitely think that Melissa Ford has been a great addition. But I also think that Melissa Ford has added to some strife inside of the room. She's added to strife between some of the co-hosts. She does petty things, like even when the guy from the documentary came up there from a basketball documentary. She was like, "Oh, I can't be here." She just stormed out and left. And she said she wasn't doing an interview because she didn't feel he deserved a platform and she wasn't going to show up. Now, to be fair, Ice told them if they brought somebody else up there, I can't remember who it was, but he said if they brought him, he told Joe he wasn't coming in that day. Now, not coming in is different than showing up to work and then leaving. But when you look at the situation, it's like, and then Joe asked us some type of question like, "Hold, well, what about when this hold?" He said, "Hold, not hold." He said, "Hold. What about when this other person came up here and da 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 da?" So I think she picks and chooses a lot, and she does that under the pretense of being a woman. Now, the real part of this, I believe that there was a part of the it was like the sleepers. And I believe she wanted her sleeper to be Drake, give me a hug, because her name was mentioned in there. Drake is the op from Joe Budden's perspective. No, you cannot play give me a hug on my big platform and big up my op who's calling me a D-sucker and I'm not a D-sucker. No, you cannot do that just because you want everybody to hear him call you a legend from the six. And that's the thing about it. That's how divide and conquer goes. And in my personal opinion, it's like, if I'm on a platform with LeBron James, me and LeBron James play for the Lakers, and a reporter comes out and says something about Bronny James, I can't then big up that reporter like, "Yo, salute to reporter A for saying I'm a rising star," but then knowing that he done already said that Bronny ain't gonna be nothing in the NBA. Now, for the people who listen to this, I think Bronny's gonna be fine in the NBA. So don't try to attack me or say I said something I didn't. Losers. But you can't get to that point in your life and just side with the op and think like, "Oh, I'm gonna just separate this." But this happens a lot in society, man, and this is just a societal conversation, really, when it boils down to everything that's happening. A lot of times in society, things happen between guys in the streets, or two guys may not already like each other, and because they don't like each other, the woman will say, "Okay, I was dating this guy, but now this is his op, so I'm gonna go over there and get with his op, and now I'm gonna get under this guy's skin," which drives the beef. And this happens all the time. And I know y'all could say this happen all the time, but we rarely see men do things like this. And I tell people all the time, it's a lot of things that men don't do because men know other men will kill them. You rarely see men get into it out in public without the consciousness of knowing this man might seriously hurt me, this man might kill me, this man might put me in the hospital. Normally, when women see men, they just go off, be this, be that, H this, H that. I get my brother, I'll get my uncle, get from away from, because women know that they're going to be able to go get the men to kill the other man while they are absolved of anything that happened. A lot of times when women put men in position to lose their life or to be losers, they get to walk away, or they get to testify and say, "Oh, well, I was manipulated into do it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was so afraid for my life." And now you end up in that you end up in that terrible position as a man. So as a man, when women show you who they are, stay away from them. But also women, when men show you who they are, just stay away from them. There's no need to bring them around. There's no need to think they reformed, because if they reform, they need to go be with somebody else who has nothing to lose. When you have something to lose, the smallest thing can take away from what you gain. If you want more updates about the Joe Budden podcast, hit the subscribe button. If you want more updates about hip hop and celebrity news, hit the subscribe button. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.